السلام عليكم. لا تنسوا الاعجاب بالفيديو والاشتراك في القناة تشجيعا لنا لنستمر بنشر المزيد إن شاء الله.
Hi. If you go to the news right now and type Egypt, you'll see that Egypt just had elections, and those elections were sadly quite controversial. Some are for, some are against, some are blah blah blah. Politics is taking over the country, and in the process we forget the country. So I'm taking you with me on a journey to Egypt. And in that journey, I'm gonna show you zero government, zero politics, zero crap. Just the raw magic of Egypt. What you see behind me are hundreds of dogs eating 1 ton of food just to illustrate their point. And that point is simple. Egypt is cheap. A 5-star luxury hotel is under $200. That is affordable. But when you go to the streets, it gets even more cheap. An entire McDonald's meal is $2. Another meal will cost you 50 cents. Eating with friends, that's $2. A tourist price souvenir, that's 20 cents. It's so cheap in Egypt that I can feed 600 of these dogs for $100. That's 13 cents to feed an animal. 13 cents. Egypt has only recently become this cheap, and some locals are not too happy about it. But if you're watching this from the United States, come visit Egypt. Trust me, it's worth it. That's 1 minute. See you tomorrow. Hi. The following video is shot in the country of This is Egypt, the country you know for having old stuff, like the pyramids, the Sphinx, and this. But the people that actually live in Egypt are surprisingly young. Over half the population of Egypt is under 25 years. That's younger than me. Which means many of the people you see around are young. The sellers are young, the magician is young, the rugby players are young, the parkour kids are young. All of this is right next to this. In the country with one of the oldest civilizations in the world, you'll be pleasantly surprised to find the youngest population. Nice! This is where I am, on top of a horse with a bunch of grain, running around to make a line in the sand. Because legend has it that this is how Alexander the Great, this guy, defined the border of his new city, Alexandria, with just a line of grain. And thousands of years later, his city is still standing, with its own library that's the largest in Africa and the biggest in the ancient world. With its own delicious food. Good weather, and fascinating history. This is what I've wanted to see for years. Because Alexandria is the best example of how a few drops of grain with enough patience can create one of the most magical places in the world. Nice, Alexandria, nice. Hi. What you see behind me is an entire city filled with garbage, pigs, bad smell, and dust. This is the garbage city of Egypt. But before you judge the city too much, let me show you what's inside. Here is where tens of thousands of garbage collectors live. They collect the trash from Cairo and recycle it, so much that their recycle rate is impressively high, similar to that in the developed world. Here you will find many Christians living next to the largest church in the Middle East, entirely carved from stone. Here you will also find lots of art on houses, but from afar it's one giant art piece on the entire city. The garbage city of Egypt is very dirty and very poor, but it's not garbage. Because garbage is what keeps this city alive. That's 1 minute. See you tomorrow. half of you are probably freezing right now in the middle of winter, wondering,
where did summer go?
where did summer go? Summer is right here. It's in the city of Aswan in Egypt that is literally always sunny. This is in the month of February. But it's not just the weather here, it's the culture. In Aswan, these rocks were chopped and put on boats to cross the Nile to build this. In Aswan, temples have existed for thousands of years and people have lived for thousands more. Life is too short to spend it in the freezing weather.
It's cold.
Come to Aswan because here it's always summer. That's it for Egypt. That's 1 minute. See you tomorrow.